You can't afford to waste time. 7 things that I let go of to become a multimillionaire. In this video, I want to teach you the top 7 things that I did to become a multimillionaire. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. People often ask me, how did you become a multimillionaire? Especially knowing when I came from special education. But it always goes back to, it's not what I did, it's actually what I let go of. Number 1, let go of people who aren't aligned with your vision. Your time is valuable. And once you truly understand that, you'll realize you can't afford to spend it with people who don't align with your dreams or what you want. It hit me hard one day. This is when I realized I was hanging out with my friends and they were chilling on the block in the neighborhood, drinking, smoking, gambling, doing things that didn't add value to my life. Now, don't get me wrong. Back in the day, that would have been an amazing time. But my life has changed. I've outgrown that. I've evolved. And I realized some of my friends, they have a still mindset. They're still stuck. They're still not growing. And they're just okay with where they are in life. And I had to ask myself, is he really my friend? Or has he been taking advantage of me? Now, I love my friends, but I had to let them go. I had to stop picking up their calls, responding to their texts, because I need people in my life that want more for me, not more from me. That's when I realized I had to do a friend audit. Why carry people who won't carry you when you need it? Why spend time with people that just don't add to your dreams or add value to it? The most powerful word you can use is no. Every time I say no to the wrong people, I make space to say yes to someone who will add value to my life. Remember this, proximity is power. The people you spend the most time with significantly influences who you become. For example, if I had chosen to continue to hang on the block, drink, smoke, I'm going to be adding no value to my life. I will not be in the place I am today. Versus going to masterminds, going to meetups. I'm able to network with people that's like-minded like me that want the same things that I want, which allow me to grow and ultimately become a multimillionaire. So let go of the people who aren't aligned with your vision. That brings me to number 2. Stop taking advice from people who haven't done it. I remember when I was buying a new home, I was talking to someone about it and he started listing all the reasons why I shouldn't buy. It sounded convincing until I asked, how much real estate do you own? His answer was none. Here's the truth. You can't take advice from somebody who hasn't done what you're trying to do. I didn't need an opinion. I needed experience. That's why I turned to a close friend, someone who's made millions in real estate. He's been through the process, learned lessons, and had real life experience. Imagine if I've listened to the first guy. I would have missed out on an opportunity that literally made me millions. If you want to be successful in a business, ask someone who runs a successful business in that field. The point is, find people who have the life you want and ask them how they got there. Surround yourself with the right people and you'll have the right answers to the right question. Your time is too valuable to waste on the wrong people and the wrong advice. Protect your time and protect your peace and start aligning yourself with people who can help you grow. That brings me to number 3, accountability. Own your choices. Too many people do not know how to take accountability for their own actions. Here's the truth. You are in the situation you're in because of your own decisions, whether it's good or bad. Can I share a personal story? When I used to gamble, I'd lose money, and every time I did, I'd blame everyone else. I blame the dealer, I blame the game, and I blame anyone around me. But you know who I never blamed? I never blamed myself. I never looked in the mirror and said, you know what? It's my fault. Take accountability. And that's what most people do. We love to point fingers at everyone else but ourselves. When you blame others, you give away your power. And the moment I stopped blaming other people, everything changed in my life. I realized that when I take ownership of my decisions, you take control of your destiny. I started owning everything I did, whether it was good or bad. And here's what I learned. You can't control everything that happens around you, but you can control how you respond to it. Success comes with responsibility. If you want success, you have to accept the responsibility that comes with it. Let's get real for a second. If someone pushes you out of your character, that's a flaw in you, not them. They don't have control over you. You gave it to them. Your response to any situation determines your outcome. And when you focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't, You take the power back. At the end of the day, your life is what you decide to make it, not what it gives you. If you're waiting for life to hand you success, you'll be waiting forever, my friend. Accountability is a game changer. Until you own your choices and take responsibility, nothing will change. The moment you take accountability, you take back control. You want change? It starts with you. That brings me to number 4. For every no, there's an opportunity for a yes. That's one of the biggest lessons I've learned. Every no that I ever gave, it opened up an opportunity for a yes. Let me tell you a story. I've built many companies, and at one point, I got completely burnt out. Why? Because I said yes to everything. I used to feel guilty saying no, so I overloaded my plate. I said yes to so much that I started doing poor work. One day, one of my business partners pulled me aside and said, "Man, if you can't do it, just say no. Don't tell me yes and then not deliver. I'd rather you be honest." That hit me and it hurt. I thought people was understanding, but in reality, they were frustrated with me. Fast forward. I recently had someone on my team who did the same thing, saying yes to everything. I warned them, you're going to overwork yourself. It's okay to say no. But they didn't listen. Eventually, they exploded from being overworked and ended up losing their job. Only say yes to the things that align with your goals and your workload, and learn to say no to things that don't serve your purpose. When you understand the power of no, you'll move closer to becoming the person you dreamed of. Protect your time. Say no to anything that doesn't align with your vision. Number 5. Don't be a slave to technology. I used to have a friend who was glued to his phone 24/7. He even carried a charger everywhere, so his phone would never die. I'll say, bro, put your phone down. Enjoy the moment. But he couldn't. He was just scrolling endlessly with no purpose. Your time is precious. Think about how many hours you waste on your phone, scrolling, worrying about people who aren't paying your bills. Now, don't get me wrong. Your phone is a great tool, but use your phone for productive things. Stop consuming, start producing. I'll be honest, when I needed to get work done, I used to get distracted by calls and notifications. I'll start something and get sidetracked and never finish. Then I discovered the game changer, airplane mode. When I work, I turn my phone into airplane mode. And guess what? My productivity skyrocketed. If you know everyone else's business, that means you don't have any business of your own. Fill your to-do list with so much purpose that you don't have time for distractions. I got a saying I like to go by. If the tech don't cut a check, leave it at the deck. Number 6, educate, educate, educate. When I say educate, I mean really. Educate yourself. Watching YouTube videos, reading a book, or taking a course, it isn't enough. You have to process the information. Here's what works for me. I write down the information. So if I read a book, I literally write down everything I took from that book. Then I say it out loud. And then I envision it. I create a virtual image of what I just processed. You have to become one with the information so it becomes second nature. It just flows with you. Let me share this. The best way to master what you've learned is to teach it. When I started building my curriculum, I realized I had to read differently. I wasn't just consuming, I was looking for details I could teach others. It's like a film director watching a movie. They're not just enjoying it, they're analyzing it. So, be intentional about what you're learning. If you're working on marketing, don't waste time studying photography. Sharpen the pencils you're using and focus on the others when you need them. So, learn it, execute it, and earn from it. The faster you act on what you've learned, the faster it becomes part of you. And my final one that helped me become a multimillionaire. Number 7, you're in competition with you and only you. Stop looking at other people's success or failures. Your story is your story. Own it. There was a time when I compared myself to others, and it would mess me up. I'd get upset or discouraged because I wasn't where my peers were. But here's the thing. You don't know their sacrifices, their struggles. You haven't been where they've been, and you haven't done what they've done. Stop trying to be the main character in someone else's story. What's for them is for them, and what's for you will come at the right time. As long as you keep putting in the work. Focus on being better than you were yesterday. If you improve just 1% every day, what does it look like in a year? It's compounding interest on yourself. When you compare yourself to others, you take away from your own individuality. You have your own vibe, and they have theirs. Don't blow your one shot on being you. And remember, the only competition you have is the person in the mirror. If you focus on these 7 things, you will become a multimillionaire like I did.